DLC. Because the first game I want to talk about is called Jusant. Jusant. I believe that's the correct pronunciation, but there's actually a very charming. I got a code for this game early, and there's a very charming little video they sent along with it, where the developers are like, "It's pronounced Jusant, but also however you want to pronounce it is fine."
Fantastic.
So it's which was lovely. It is Jusant. So it looks like Jusant, but it's Jusant, which is a French word that means rising tide, I think. Anyway, this in a year, as we've mentioned, that is just overflowing with Game of the Year contenders. I put this in the discussion. It's a short game. It's an indie game. It's in that sort of like, you could play this game in a sitting. I played it in 2, I think. It's very short, but I don't think that should be a detriment these days. I think that's kind of a beautiful thing sometimes, is like this really wonderful game that you sit down. Let's put it this way. I played this game in less time than it took me to watch Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's about 3.5. This is about 3.5 hours, right? So but I mean, you could probably take more time with it. The idea of Jusant is that it's this fantastical world, and you are literally climbing this tower of a sort of destroyed culture. It's these people that lived in and around the sea, but the sea has dried up and there's no rain, there's no moisture, and so they've disappeared or died off. You don't know. You are this person with a rope and a backpack and this little creature, and you are going to ascend this giant tower that used to be, I think, underwater. That's the entire game. It's pure exploration, zero combat. It's a game where there's no violence whatsoever. It is just traversal, and the traversal is awesome. My only caveat is that I constantly was comparing the experience of playing Jusant with playing The Climb or The Climb 2, which are VR games that I very much enjoy, that are basically the same thing. The Climb franchise is about climbing a structure, and because you're in VR, you're actually reaching out, grabbing hold of these ledges and things, and pulling yourself up. And I actually went back and played The Climb some more after playing Jusant, because I was like, I just want to remind myself what it was like to play The Climb. And I honestly think Jusant would be better if it was in VR. Like, if I could physically be doing it. That's just my personal kink, That's just, I'm a VR guy.
Which you can add to every game Jeff talks about, by the way.
It's true, but in this one, we have like a 1-to-1 comparison of like, what is a game about climbing? Well, is it better to use the triggers on your controller? No, it's better to literally reach your hand out and grab the ledge and pull yourself up. It's cooler. But I do think that they have managed to map the idea of climbing a structure to a controller in a pretty clever way. As I mentioned, it's basically the left trigger, and the game is like, play this with a controller, because I played it on PC. It's also available on Game Pass, I should mention. So you can check this game out. You can probably finish it, like I said, in one sitting or a couple sittings. And so your left hand is the left trigger, and your right hand is the right trigger. And you always attach yourself with your little rope, and you've got I can't remember what they're called, because of the P. Pylons, pyrons, whatever they're called. Climbers will know. You have 3 of them that you can plunk into a wall at any point, which, if you know anything about climbing, like that's like it's a little hook that secures you and keeps you safe, right? So you're climbing, you're looking for handholds, you're climbing, you're trying to figure out how to climb, left hand, right hand, and you can kind of time it, so you're kind of going at a pace. You've got stamina, so if you take too long, your hands will get tired and you can slip off. But there's no death. There's no plummeting to your death. You're always hooked in, and depending on where you choose to put your little pinion, is that what they're called? The little hook thingies. Maybe it's the P. Anyway, wherever you stick those things in, like it's effectively a save point, right? Because the higher up you put, and you get to these, you'll climb, and then pull yourself up to a full ledge and start exploring the like next level of the society that has been abandoned. But as you're climbing up, you can put the little hook in the wall, and you're not going to fall any farther than that. You'll never fall farther than that. So it's like this really cool version of a save system, or you've gotten this far with some limitations because you only have 3 of those, right? Very clever. And you'll do some like some Nathan Drake type stuff too, where you're swinging.
Do those respawn, or is it 3 for the game?
So yeah, every time you get to an actual platform, or the next level of the society, where you're walking around these abandoned houses and looking at stuff, you push the B button on the controller, and you retract your rope. So you are taking your rope off that anchor point, and then all your little pinions, or whatever they're called,
Pythons?
Pythons. That sounds right.
There we go.
Thank you. Somebody looked it up. I appreciate you, Jan. Thank you. I should have looked it up before I started talking. But anyway, so yeah, those get replenished when you get to the next, and that happens fairly frequently. Like and I should mention that this is a fantastical world, and it is beautifully art designed. I love the art direction in this game. It is so beautiful, this abandoned world that you find like writings and journals that people have left, and you kind of get a sense of who the people that lived there were and what was going on, and there's a story that unfolds in your journey up this massive structure. But the structure itself has so much character and identity to it. Just the design of how these people lived, and there's sort of ropes and pulleys, and there's like barnacles on everything, and stuff is broken. But like the design of this alien culture, it very much feels like an alien culture, is so beautiful. And just wandering around their little abandoned hovels, and you'll find a crevice and like go deeper into something and find a little like a prayer stone, or like a little temple or something. And there's like moments of real beauty in the game, and you're constantly finding these shells that he'll blow into or listen to, and just hearing it will sort of give him a sense, your main character, give him a sense of the people that used to live there. You never see them, you never like get flashbacks or anything, but you're just picking up context clues from the way it's designed and how they used things. It's an exquisite game. It's really beautiful. And I love how it is, like, its sensibility is pure exploration, not violent. I mean, believe me, as I was kind of turning away from Alan Wake 2, I started playing Jusant, and I was like, oh, this is more my speed. This makes me feel safe and happy. And yes, it's about an abandoned culture, but it's so beautiful, and it's just like pleasant, and the colors are lovely. It's just, I love this game. It is really worth everybody playing. If you have a Game Pass subscription, please play Jusant. Like I said, it won't take you long, but I think this is an absolute gem of a video game experience. I loved it.